This past weekend in Jakarta, Secretary of State John Kerry said climate change was the equivalent of a weapon of mass destruction. That's what I'd like to talk about today. It's more than just rhetoric on the part of the Secretary of State. He is actively laying the groundwork for a global treaty on climate change, akin to the one that was signed in Kyoto and then again in Copenhagen. But this one he's doing in such a way that it does not have to be approved by Congress, because it sets voluntary standards that nations can choose to comply with to reduce carbon emissions. And Obama would implement it by executive orders, because he claims that he already has the legislative authority to issue orders in this field. So the whole goal here is to turn the American economy upside down to try to reach draconian new carbon dioxide reduction standards in order to comply with this new global treaty that Kerry is negotiating but will not submit to the Congress for ratification. And by the way, the treaty will set up two completely separate sets of goals, one for developed countries and the other for less developed countries. It's unclear that China or India will even sign on to the less developed country stuff, but at least they're going to try. Remember that China each year adds 1/4 of our total carbon emissions to its annual total of emissions. In other words, over 4 years, they add the equivalent of the whole United States' carbon emissions to their total of emissions. It's ridiculous because we're one planet, and obviously what affects one part affects the other. Kerry said that only the Flat Earth Society is pushing the idea that climate change isn't happening. Well, the Flat Earth Society includes most of the climate scientists who now admit that there's a 17-year-long pause in climate change, that global warming has not progressed for 17 years. Now, it is true there is a gradual increase in global temperatures, and that's normal. It's just cyclical fluctuation, but it's not catastrophic. The huge increase that was predicted, where Al Gore said the Arctic ice cap would melt by about 2 years ago, has not happened, and there's no sign that it ever will happen. But yet the globalists are trying to completely change the international economy to take account of this climate change that really isn't happening. Why are they doing it? Is it because they're so focused on the environment? No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's their scheme for global governance. We talk about this, Eileen and I, in our book, Here Come the Black Helicopters. They need a global cause to unite the nations of the world, to transcend national sovereignty, and to put us all into a globally planned economy in the name of averting climate change. The problem is climate's not cooperating, as I guess we all feel from the terribly cold weather we've been having lately. But Kerry is determined to push ahead, and Obama's right behind him. And Congress? Who needs Congress? They're going to do a massive end run around Congress. Thanks for watching.